Hey there, Sensei Johnston here from Boundless Martial Arts. In this video today, I'm going to give parents some tips on how to get some better behavior out of your children at home. In the martial arts, in the dojo, we teach so many different kinds of values, and we have different kinds of rules in the dojo. We teach, respect and focus, listening, patience, and these things can happen in so many different ways. Patience could be, waiting for class to start. It could be, being patient when you're in your lineup, be patient when you're in your meditation, patience when you're with a partner, patience when you're waiting for the teacher to explain techniques, patience waiting for your turn for an activity. And there's, even one thing like patience, a skill like that, we practice it in so many different ways in the dojo. Now, the dojo, when we translate the word dojo, the dojo translates as place of the way. We generally, translate it as like training hall. It's a general term. This is our training hall. But when you break down the words, it means the place of the way. And what's the way? The way is the way of the martial arts, learning how to do all of these, core values, these things that we practice. And they become something that by practicing them every time you come to the dojo, they should rub off and get better and translate into everyday life. That's always our hope. So if you need some help at home, what you can always do is take a look at whatever's happening at home. Maybe they're not doing their homework, or maybe they're not cleaning up, or maybe they're not talking appropriately. Number one, the first thing you can always start with and try and do, has great success, is hey, point out the behavior that they're exhibiting and say, what would your martial art instructor think of this behavior or say to you if they saw this? Right? And that, puts a mirror back on their own behavior to say, oh, well, hold on a sec. I really respect my martial art teacher. I don't think they'd be very happy with this. We've had lots of parents come to us and say they use this technique at home to get, fantastic results. But if that's not working, you can take that even a step farther and talk to your martial arts instructors about your children, about how they're behaving at home. And then we can talk to them and work out something together to say, hey, we'd like to see this behavior improve. Right? And that can look like a lot of different things. It can just be generally, we'd like to see you improve this behavior at home. I'm going to ask you next week how you did. Or we could even blend that into the belt testing where, say, hey, we want to see this behavior that you're exhibiting at school improve. You're not going to be able to get your next belt in karate if you're not improving that behavior. We're going to talk to mom and dad and check and make sure that you're getting better in these areas. You wouldn't believe how well these kind of things work, where they get into those situations and then they have to stop and they go, hold on a second. There's a real consequence that I care about if I exhibit this behavior. So I'm going to try even harder, right, to do a better job. We always encourage our parents to come talk to us about all of these kinds of things. That's what the dojo is here for. Unlike other sports or activities where maybe you do it for a season and then it's done, or you have a different coach every year, in the martial arts, we're always teaching you guys, right, for years at a time. We create real connections to families. And so if you guys ever want us, to help out or have a talk with your child, we're always happy to do that. And then that way you get even more, right, out of the program. And that's what we want to see for all of our families. Again, I'm Sensei Johnston. I hope these tips help you out. If you do have anything that you guys need help with, always reach out to our team. We're happy to help.